Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 165.
That was fun.
Did you get caught off guard there?
I forgot that we were recording a podcast. I was just fixing my camera and getting my calendar out of the way, and I was like, oh, there was a countdown.
I thought you were distracted. Caitlin was humming a song, and her microphone was on, and then I thought you were just lulled into her beautiful voice, and you just forgot where you were.
She was humming, and I was... That's foreshadowing for a conversation we will have later.
It sure is. So yeah, episode 165. Who'd have thought?
So exciting.
Who'd have thought?
Gosh, it's exciting to be alive and to be recording a podcast that we love to do and to be at 165. I have nothing but good thoughts about what's about to come. 165. What you got?
I can't tell if you're being sincere or sarcastic. Are you excited?
I say this all the time. I always feel like Alex in that episode of Modern Family when they go to the cabin for Christmas and she's trying to like be endearing to her family and she'll say something nice and they'll be like, we don't have time for that kind of negativity now or we don't have time for your sarcasm. And she's like, but I love you. Like, what did you do with Alex?
Yes, that's exactly how you are, Alex.
Just not smart.
165. So I found a couple of things. 165. I don't know if they're interesting or not, but 165. This one's educational, if not anything. 165 degrees is the minimum temperature that you're going to want to cook your poultry to avoid foodborne illnesses. So if you're making chicken or turkey or duck, you want to make sure it's at 165. What?
Or a casserole. What do you think I said?
Well, I said you got to cook your poultry to 165. So yeah, if there's poultry in the casserole, a casserole inherently doesn't need to be 165 unless it has poultry in it.
I think that 165 is the temperature at which bacteria dies. And so anything that might grow bacteria, you probably want to to 165.
Beef is 140. All the meats are different. Beef is 140. You can cook to. Sorry, I just saw something move in your doorway.
I know, right?
I thought there was somebody coming into your office. I was like, oh. So yeah, the meats, various temperatures for the meats, but poultry is listed as being safe at 165. Neptune. Are you familiar with the planet Neptune?
I'm familiar with that work.
All right. It takes 165 Earth years for it to make one complete rotation around the sun. Which means none of us have been alive or will be alive for an entire rotation of Neptune.
That's Moses.
And
Abraham.
That leads me into... No, it doesn't. I don't know what age they were, but they were old. How crazy would it be if they were 165?
Crazy.
And then any Elvis fans out there? Elvis Presley was a big motorcycle guy. Over the course of his life, he amassed quite a collection of motorcycles, not 165, but he was very friendly with his motorcycles. He used to buy them for his friends and stuff. So like if you were friends with Elvis, at some point in your life, you were going to get a free motorcycle. But his first motorcycle was the Harley Davidson Model 165, which began his lifelong passion for the mode of transportation.
You know, he was just a big guy. Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, during the later years of his life, he was a big guy. During his early years, he was a very thin guy.
But he's still he was a tall,
like
massive
height-wise?
human being.
Oh,
yeah, wasn't he?
I don't know how tall he was. That never, unless he was 165 inches, that never came up in my search. One interesting thing I
found, very well endowed. He was 165 centimeters.
Oh. But he was 6 feet. He's my height.
Yeah.
So, one thing I thought was interesting because I was looking up information on bikes he owned, and it said he bought bikes for the entire Memphis Mafia, and I was like, "What?" I didn't know he was tied to the mafia, but apparently that Memphis Mafia was the name of his crew that he ran with, not the actual mob. So rest easy, Elvis fans. He was not tied to the mob. In fact, he was very much against crime and worked with Richard Nixon. You remember that famous photo of him and Richard Nixon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't answer, so I didn't know.
It was part of something at some show. There was somebody who was making fun of something or a skit. I can't tell. I remember what it was, but it was some way somebody was making fun of Elvis and being like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down there to Richard Nixon's office. I'm gonna fix this.
It was a movie, wasn't it? Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's coming. I feel like Celine Dion because it's all coming back to me now.
Oh my God, Celine Dion. That's more foreshadowing.
Mm.
I just have to tell you, it is way too early in the morning for me. And I know we've recorded earlier than this, but for some reason, today is an early day for me. So I'll do the best that I can.
You also were traveling this week, so you're probably a little jet lagged. Yeah. Last thing I got, obviously, is for Caitlin, Pokemon 165 is Ladybug, which sounds like an Irish person saying ladybug, and that's probably on purpose because Ladybug is a giant 3-foot ladybug-looking Pokemon that is very sensitive to cold.
If a 3-foot thing looking like that was running down the street, I would jump off a building.
You don't have to jump off a building. You just got to have a Pokeball and catch it.
Is there something I'd have to say just in case I find myself? Is there like a thing, like He-Man says, I have power? Do you have to yell something like Jumanji when you throw it, or you just throw it?
Yeah, all you have to do is throw it and yell, eek, a bug. Yeah. Caitlin, stop
It sounds
talking.
like the lyrics.
No, Rick, I want you to go out there and start throwing red balls around and just yell out, eek, it's a bug.
It sounds like the same person that wrote the opening of The Lion King. Hey, it's a lion. I'm gonna find a way to work that in.
Don't finish that line or he will sue us.
Or I'll just sue that other guy. I'll be like, if you are, it's not like, if you believe that what you're saying is true, then you can't be sued for it. So this comedian taught me. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke, LM.
Yeah. Honestly, part of me thought he was telling the truth. I don't want to encourage this lawsuit to continue, but when I first heard him talking, I was like, I never knew that.
If you Google it, it will tell you that he was close to right.
It's not far off.
It's way off. If you Google it, it's more close to what the comedian said than what this guy says it was, that the words are that he wrote. But who knows?
I hope that jury has Google. Anyway, that's all I have.
Hey, did you know that for 165 years, something that is going to be broken this year, but for 165 years, the head of the Department of Treasury's signature has been on the $100 bill. And for the first time in 165 years, that's going to change because, the narcissist who wants
whose name is going to go on it now?
Mr. Narcissist. He's going to sign it, Mr. Narcissist.
I like that.
At least he's being honest. Donald Trump's name will be on the $100 bill. Good thing we don't make enough money to have $100 bills, so we'll never have to see it. You know what I mean? I'll just say, could I have that in 20s, please? I think it's just the $100 bill.
Oh.
For the 250th anniversary. I mean, I think that's the explanation of why it's happening, but we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we're doing this for the 250th anniversary, but it's just, hey, let's jerk off Donald Trump a little more. He's going on a gold dollar coin. He's going on a commemorative quarter. His fucking face and signature is going to be on everything to commemorate 250 years of American history.
Where did I just see that there's going to be this ginormous gold statue of him? I mean, if that doesn't scream dictator, come on, y'all. Come on. Can you imagine if MAGA was forced to look at a giant golden Kamala Harris statue paid for with their hard-earned dollars, how they would lose their
Yeah.
minds.
Forget just the political aspects of it. How are the conservative Christians who love this man so much not seeing the irony of worshiping a giant gold statue of him? It's in the damn Bible, for God's sakes. Don't they read their own book?
I don't think so. I
I don't
think
think
they
so
sit
either.
in a pew and listen to somebody tell them what it says. But hey, how do I know? I'm not allowed in. I have to be invited. So
Like a vampire?
yeah.
All right.
All right, so here you go. I'm sure this is going to be the most interesting fact that I have to tell you. Do
Okay.
you know where racetrack store number 165 is?
The gas station racetrack?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's on Waters Avenue in Tampa, Florida. Isn't that interesting? No, not really. I just thought it was fun because it's in Watermark's readership area. So there you go. They should be a
Oh, okay.
distribution spot.
I thought there was a punchline coming. Like, you know,
No,
like
no.
that's where I got my first hand job in a bathroom or something.
As if I would remember where that happened.
Oh,
I'm sure it was.
by 165, I had just
I'm sure it was
blacked
the
everything
basement
out.
of a bar in New York, and not from this last trip. No. Here we go. 165th episode of Friends. What do you think? The last one was, I forget what the last one was. I remember that this one, you guessed this one last time.
Oh, geez, I'm one behind all the time.
All the time. I'm gonna tell you what the subplots were, if you
Sure.
want. Monica and Chandler made a no sex pact until they got married. So Chandler came up with the idea that they should break up for a few hours so they could have sex.
I remember that. Yeah.
This Joey auditioned for a role in a Scorsese movie, and they wanted to offer it to him, but he has to be uncircumcised, so he needed to show them that he was. So Monica made a bunch of different penises for him to
Coverings.
put on. Yeah.
I believe he ended up going with the silly putty, which falls off.
Yeah,
at the
with
end.
false off.
Okay, so I know. Okay, so that would mean that it's a Chandler,
It has
Rachel, Ross.
It has a famous cameo. Well, I mean, I guess you would say a D-lister famous cameo. It is. We went over this and we talked about
Is this the one with the cousin?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the
one,
inappropriate episodes.
Yeah, the one with Ross and Monica's cousin, played by Denise Richards.
Yes.
Of Drop Dead Gorgeous fame.
At the time, she was A-list?
Was she?
B-list?
I know she was in Drop Dead Gorgeous. She was in that movie about the bugs. What was that movie called?
Starship Troopers, yeah.
That was a good one. I enjoyed
around that time that she was on Friends, I believe she was in the most recent James Bond film. Because I remember she played a nuclear scientist, and people were like, okay. That's when they all said, "You've jumped the shark now, James Bond." Now, I like Denise Richards. She seems nice.
What if you were the guy? What if you're the guy that wrote the Happy Days episode where Fonzie jumped over a shark tank, and for the rest of your life, when people referred to a show that began to suck, they said "jump the shark" in reference to your terrible, terrible show that you wrote?
I hope he did something else in life that balances that out. You were saying that, it reminded me, she's also in the movie Wild Things with Nev Campbell and Kevin Bacon, and you get full frontal bacon in that movie.
Is it a thick cut bacon?
It's nice bacon. You know what? I like bacon. I'm just gonna say that I like bacon.
Sans silly putty.
With or without the silly putty.
Were there
I like
7 inches of Kevin Bacon? Because there's 7 degrees. Yeah, that's where I was going. All right,
Is it
here
7
we go.
or 6 degrees? I think it's
6 degrees. You're right.
Look at you being generous and giving him an extra degree.
Yeah, I figure if you give an inch, you get a mile. All right, 165th greatest director of all time. I think you're going to get both of these.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't recognize these movies. You might, but I recognize the name of the director. So he directed the Ben Affleck thriller from his early years, Paycheck.
Okay. Okay.
There was
I recall
also
that one.
Paycheck, the alternate ending. He directed that too. The Crossing, The Crossing
Oh,
2,
I'm unfamiliar
Manhunt,
with these. Nope.
Manhunt, Silent Night, The Killer. Mm,
No, I don't know any of these movies. Paycheck's the only movie I know.
that's interesting. I thought maybe The Crossing would do it, or the Killer was his most recent movie in like 2024. John Woo.
Didn't. Oh, why didn't you say Face Off?
Oh, because I hate that movie.
What?
Yeah, that's one of the worst.
I love that movie.
Is he the inventor of the slow walk? Because
He
that's
is.
all this
the
movie is.
The slow walk with the doves behind is signature John Woo. Yeah.
That is a stupid movie, by the way. It
No,
is
it's
one of the
awesome.
stupidest movies. They switch each other's faces,
Yeah.
and then they have a face off.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna get
It's
this.
it's a pretty simple concept for the movie. It was during the late 90s when all those, I mean, Con Air, Twister, Independence Day, they just did kooky, wild movies. You just suspend your belief and you enjoy your time.
I also am not a Nicolas Cage fan,
Ah, Nicolas Cage
and
is awesome.
apparently a John
And
Travolta fan. No, not a John Travolta fan.
I don't
either.
mind John Travolta, but I love Nicolas Cage. He is so weird.
Yeah, and it might stem from like Raising Cain, right? Raising Arizona. That might be the movie
Mm.
that did it for me. Definitely Con Air, one of the worst movies that I've seen.
Terrible
Did
hair.
John Woo direct that? Because there's a lot of
No.
slow walking and fire in the background in that too.
No, I want to say that was Michael Bay, but don't quote me on that.
165th greatest movie of all time.
Face Off.
There's one clue. You know what? When that hits, that will be the end of the list.
All right.
When I say I have nothing from that list to share, it means it was Face Off. I struggle with how to get you to guess this because anything I say is going to make it obvious.
What year did it come out? Let's start there.
1991.
91?
Yep.
What came out in 91? Wasn't that the year Silence of the Lambs came out?
I do not know.
I think it was.
But I will give you this quote, and
Sure.
this will seal the deal. Back and to the left.
JFK.
Back and to the
Yeah.
left. Yeah. Yeah. Like if I said
Or an
Oliver
episode
Stone
of Seinfeld
movie,
from the 4th
Yeah.
season.
if I had said Oliver Stone 1991, I feel like you would have
Yeah.
got it. Or if I said Kevin Costner, controversial film.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that movie lost to Silence of the Lambs. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I was pretty obsessed with that movie.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
I don't see how there's any way possible. Having been there, I mean, you and I went to Dallas. We went to where the place was. Like, there's just no way.
And Dupree.
Irene.
No, no, that was me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
You, me, and Dupree was Owen
Oh,
Wilson,
okay.
or as we like to call him, Ryan.
Marley.
He is our Owen Wilson.
Marley and me. Speaking of Marley and me, Ryan and I might be making our way up to New York in a couple of weeks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we're going to go to that conference.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come protest out front. No
No more
conferences
branded
in
content.
our town.
No more branded content. All right. Well, that was exciting.
Yeah.
There were some actually interesting facts there, especially
you.
racetrack. You're welcome. You're welcome to the racetrack fandom.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that the 165th one is the one across the street from me because there's so few gas stations actually in the city. And I was going to say, is that a racetrack?
Is that the one
But
that
it's
was
not.
like $9?
It's $6.19 right now a gallon.
Oh. Well, listen, if you drive a car in Manhattan, Drive up to like Broadway and 157th because it's only, or like 156 because it's only like $4 up there.
Yeah, this one across from me, I think it's kind of in the same vein as those two that are down by the Orlando airport, where it's like, all the cars right before they get to the airport would gas up, so they were always like triple the amount of everywhere else. I think that's what this one over
Yeah.
here is. It's like the port's right there and the Lincoln Tunnel's right there, so they're like, we're going to get you right before you go if you don't have gas.
Yeah, so like to the gas station owners right before the airport, I just want you to know when your gas prices are higher than just returning the vehicle and letting them do it, you probably charge too much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So how was your week?
it was very uneventful. There was not a lot that happened, and the things that happened, I'm not going to go into great detail about. So, just because, okay, so, work is slowed down. I don't know if you're aware of this. People don't buy as much when it's not Christmas. So when you work a commission job based on shit that people buy for gifts during the holidays, not so hot. So, doing the hustle thing, gonna get a second job. So I interviewed with Whole Foods to do overnight stock. And I hope nobody from Whole Foods listens to this, because there were two things I noticed when I went for the interview. First, there's a lot of hot guys who work at Whole Foods, and they're all going to be liberal people, because conservatives aren't looking to work at Whole Foods. So that was exciting. The other thing is you get 20% off groceries. So I was like, this is going to be nice. And this is the one down at Wall Street. I'm supposed to be hearing back from them tomorrow about my next steps of moving forward, because the manager signed off on me getting the job. But it's 2 floors. The entire top floor is like a giant hot bar, buffet, and salad bar. So I'm like, I don't even need to buy groceries, because I can just eat all of my meals there, because it's all cooked for me, and it's everything. They got fish, they got chicken, they got beef, pasta, salad, soups. I bet
beans,
all of their meat.
greens, potatoes.
Okay, no joke. I was telling Chris this exact story in this exact way, and he sang the exact song at that point. There are no original thoughts in this world at all. But so
She's
had a really
delightful.
great interview. So that was good. Had myself a little date last week
Oh,
with a
that's
gentleman
exciting.
that I met online. We went to 5 Napkins, which you and I have been to. Delightful restaurant.
It's a chain. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's quite a few out here. But we went to the one that is in the Upper West Side. I don't remember. Wait, is that the one we went to? When
We went
when
and
you and Dylan were here?
I don't
Was
think
it the
no,
Upper
it
West Side?
was
It
no.
was
I mean, it
further
was Hell's
Midtown, right?
Kitchen. It was Hell's Kitchen, I think.
Okay, then yeah. So we went to the one in Upper West Side, across from the AMC Theater, because we were going to go see a movie, and then realized that the tickets we got were for a different AMC. So we ate at 5 Napkins and then walked down Broadway, because there's like 6 AMCs on Broadway. If you just walk up and down Broadway, you're going to hit an AMC. But the nice thing is, right before the Lincoln Square AMC, which is where we actually got tickets to, and we were up near the 86 AMC. Between those 2 AMCs is the Barnes & Noble that I like going to.
Oh,
So we
nice.
stopped in and we walked down Barnes & Noble, and we learned a little something about each other by our taste in books and Lego sets. He really liked the Star Wars Lego sets, which I am not a Star Wars Lego guy, but that's fine. We can get over that. We'll work through that. I'm a Batman Lego guy, but it's fine. We'll just have to get an apartment with an extra room. So
That'd be
that
funny. He has a podcast and he's recording it right now, and he's like, he's a Batman
he's
Lego guy.
Batman Lego.
I guess we can get over that.
What a dumb queer. I hope that's not his response. Anyway, but we went and saw Ready or Not 2.
Oh yeah?
Which, if you've seen the first
Oh, is
one,
it good?
it's really good. I liked it as much. A lot of the reviews were saying, "Oh, it's not as good as the first." I thought it was just as good, if not a little better. Because it's got Sarah Michelle Gellar in it, Buffy. I love her.
It's a different cast.
No. It's the spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the first one, turn away for about 30 seconds. Besides the lead, everyone else in the first film dies. So besides the lead coming back, it has to be an all new cast. But the way that they continue the story is it's a really good kind of a cool angle they do with the story. And her sister gets pulled into it this time. And it's such a good movie. I think it's something Weaving, Sonia Weaving, whatever the lead actress's name. Her name is escaping right now. But I love her. She's got like a very sarcastic kind of sense of humor in all her movies. But I loved it. I thought it was great. Elijah Wood's in it. And it was just fantastic. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Is he in
If
it?
you
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
the
him in
first
a
one,
movie. He hasn't been in a movie in a while. How's he doing?
he's doing great. We'll get to this when we talk about what we watched this week, but some people think you recently saw him in that movie.
Oh, really?
Um,
I can
yeah,
see that.
we because we watched Merrily We Roll Along, and one of the comments on IMDb, I'll just read real quick before we get, because it ties with this. They gave it a 7, and their quote said, "One of the film's standout features is the film's cast, including recognizable actors such as Kristoff from Frozen and Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings."
I
And I
feel
was like,
like
no.
I mean, I think that's common that people could get them confused. Harry Potter, Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings. I get it.
I just thought that was hilarious that you're like recognizable, like biggest stars. One of them is the wrong actor, and one of them you identify by their animated character.
I
Like,
didn't even
come
catch
on.
that. That's hilarious.
So that was a good movie, good night. More to come on that. We're going to be going about again, so we'll see what happens. And then yesterday was Easter. Normally like Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas are like the big 3 holidays with the family. So when I was like in Orlando or family was close, we always would go home. So this is like the first Easter like I wasn't close enough to go to hang out with family. And Macy's was closed, so nobody was working. So a couple of us from Macy's went down to Fifth Avenue for the Easter parade and bonnet festival they do. There are some creative people in New York City. And they make it reminded me of like the headdress ball that they do down in Orlando. With these massive headdresses that they do up. Some of them are giant. A lot of them like involve balloons and flowers and Easter baskets and just like weird shit. So many bunny ears. I think anybody who walked up who didn't have a bonnet on, they just were handing them bunny ears. You had to have something on your head. But it was nice. It was a very gloomy day and it rained off and on. So I felt bad for people who had intricate bonnets that were not waterproof. But it was a good time. They just like a group of people just get together and march down Fifth Avenue. When it said
That's
parade,
exciting.
I was thinking like Macy's Day, like there'd be big floats. No, it's like the Halloween one. Everybody gets dressed up, meets on Fifth Avenue, and then just walks down Fifth Avenue, shows off their heads.
That's nice. You know, I
Yeah.
participated in like a bonnet walk like that. That went from, I mean, I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was a Hammered Lamb at the time. It might have been. But from like the Hammered Lamb, and then we walked to Savoy and all made bonnets, and there were awards and things like that. It wasn't
Oh,
probably as big or as intricate or elaborate, but at my age, I was 40 at the time. And
yeah.
when I wasn't very confident in my bonnet, so I did a death drop when I was walking, and like
Jesus. On the
thing
sidewalk?
on the outside concrete, and I pretty much got really hurt, and I don't know if I won because they felt bad for me or because they really liked my bonnet, but I did win an award.
Was it the "You're too old to be death dropping" award? Don't do that.
Yeah, it was the "Here's a new leg because you seem to have ripped yours off" award.
Good Lord. I wouldn't attempt a death drop when I was in my 20s or 30s, let alone my 40s. But
I
good
thought
on
it would
you.
be
Good on you.
funny, and it was.
Anything for the laugh. Anything for the laugh.
Right?
But it was a good time. They do it every year. If you're up here during Easter, one of these years, it'll be fun. We'll do bonnets and we'll go. We'll walk. And then it cleared up a little bit, so I went and walked around Central Park. There's something about in the springtime when it's nice outside, walking around Central Park that makes me feel like I'm in a Nora Ephron movie, and I feel like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan could come running up and have some kooky scheme going on or something. It just feels very movie-like, so I like doing that. And then came home, ordered Mr. D's fried chicken, which I had never had before, and they have a honey marsala fried chicken that, it's on. If you're after your little walk in Central Park, if you're in New York, get some Mr. D's. There's nothing like Mr. D's.
Feel like I must say this though. There was no such thing as a little walk in Central Park.
Oh, no. I say
It's an
little
investment.
walk. Yeah. It was a few hours walking around Central Park. Yeah.
When you go to Central Park, where do you typically walk around? So you went there. Where did you walk around?
Generally, I walk around around Bethesda Fountain, the Columbus statue, that walking path. I'll usually start there, and then it just depends. I'll find a different path each time to try to
That's nice.
see something different.
It's
the
huge.
Jackie,
There's-
the Jackie
Yeah.
O water reservoir or whatever the hell it's called is over there, big lake. So I've walked around that a few times. That's nice. I like Central Park.
Do you like the game Frogger?
Frogger? I love Frogger.
Because I think springtime at Central Park Central Park is like playing a game of Frogger. Because you've got
Oh, yeah.
runners, walkers, scooters, bicycles, roller skates, and they're all on that street. And sometimes there's
Carriages
not a cross.
with horses.
Yeah, and there's not a signal, so you just kind of got to Frogger your way across.
Yeah. I did a lot of that when I first moved here in the summer, because it was I hope it's not the same, but it was like heat wave summer last year, and the park was packed. But once a month there's a part in Central Park where all the hot twinks and gays go. I think I've talked about this, and they take their shirts off and run around and play hacky sack and throw footballs in tiny little shorts. It's worth playing a game of Frogger to get out there and partake in that.
Whereabouts
Beautiful
does
eye
that
candy.
happen?
I gotta. Chris told me, because obviously he knows of the location. But it's it reminded me because you have to Frogger your way across that big bike path where everybody's running and biking to get over. It's over baseball fields and stuff. It's a big open area. So
Okay.
I'll find out the name, and then we'll go. We'll hang out. We'll pack a picnic basket, and we'll go hang out. We'll watch them play ball.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say that's basically all I did. Then I came home, ate my Mr. D, and watched the movie we're gonna watch this week. Sorry, I say Mr. D so much.
I ate my Mr. D. I was like, I'm going to assume you were talking about your date.
Just
Just
like
kidding,
I
buddy.
said, I'm not gonna go into details.
I'm curious. There's so many interesting things about Central Park, just because I was in New York this past week.
Yeah.
And we went to Central Park, and we went there on the last day we were in. We went on Saturday. We didn't fly out until 6, so we're like, let's go. We had lunch with you in the morning, and I think you talked about this on the podcast before, about that walkway that somebody has embedded Lego into.
Yes.
Yes, I think you talked about it. It's 85th. And so it just happens to be the street that we had brunch at French Roast on Broadway and 85th, and then we walked to Central Park down 85th from there and saw all those things at school. I do want to say that the food was really good at French Roast, but I feel like I was there for 5 days.
It is, if you're going to go, and I get the feeling, because it was brunch time, I get the feeling that that's how brunch is on the weekends here. It's like if you're going, unless it's one of those places that, they want you to turn over real quick because they're always packed. But I get the feeling like people just lounge and sit. And we got our food, and we ate, and then we waited, and we waited. and they just keep your seat, enjoy yourselves.
Right. I mean, I had to stand up and get my bag around my shoulder like I was going to leave. And somebody was like, "Whoa, what? Huh?"
Yeah.
And then the lady kept telling you, excuse me. And I'm like, well, we'd be out your way if you gave us our check an hour
Yes.
ago.
Yeah, because
That
our
was so
table
funny.
was on a corner, like right where they have to come around where they go
Yeah.
into the kitchen and where they go to the bathroom. So it was very awkward. Yeah, you think they would have tried to get us out of there quick.
Well, and it was right at
Um,
the server station. So we had like 8
yeah,
servers. And I was like, we have 8 servers. Can one of them bring us a check?
yeah. Now, that being said, um, the best chicken sausage. It's just been a week of good chicken, apparently. The best chicken sausage I have ever had in my life. Like, I took a bite of it and like the juices started running out of the sausage.
Yeah. Like you were eating a Mr. D. You were like,
Yeah.
you made a
It was
noise.
honestly, I did. I made a very enjoyable noise and told Rick and I was like, this is the best sausage I have ever had. It was so good.
Thought I was watching When Harry Met Sally.
That's how I felt. But yeah, it's
Yes.
a good place. It's a good
Yeah.
place.
So we walked over because our thing is we wanted to go see this week. It's like the week to go see cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
Right. Like cherry blossoms are in bloom at the park. So we wanted to go see them. And they said there's a pathway along the Jackie O Reservoir to check it out. So that's like between 86 and 96. So we're like, let's just walk down there and we'll do this. So we passed by those baseball fields, the softball. There were people playing softball. So, which is
Yeah.
interesting to me because I play softball and I'm like, hey, I'm going to join a league and play. But the league that I looked at, like the gay league, they don't play in Central Park. And I think this might be why. So the fields, they butt up next to each other, right? There'll be like 4 fields. There are people with picnic blankets and shit in the outfield, and people are legit playing organized games. It's not like just people play, like they're wearing uniforms. They are playing an official game, and people are just sitting there. I was like, oh, please. One ball would hit them and they would leave, right? I'm like, why are they just sitting in the outfield? It was so weird to me. Anyway.
Maybe they were like family members or fans and they just really wanted to be there in the outfield with their loved ones to see them catch balls.
Yeah, no, I talked to somebody who had played out there, and they were like, "Yeah, no, that happens." Then people just sit there
Oh.
and people almost trip over each other. Jen's sister used to work at a radio station, and the radio station used to play in a league, and then they would go out there, and they're like, "Yeah," she said people would be going after balls and almost tripping over people, and they just do it all the time. That's so weird.
Fascinating.
So weird. So anyway,
I want to pack a picnic to go watch the picnickers who are watching the baseball game and see what happens.
I just yell like, "Let it go!" Like, don't catch it. Let it like, please.
Hit the lady in the yellow.
So if I was betting, I would aim for the people. I
Yeah.
just would. I would be like, let's clear this field. So we walked around, and man, the cherry blossoms are just beautiful. We walked around
Yeah.
that reservoir, which, by the way, is one way, and I think there's some people who need
Yes.
to know that
No,
it's one way.
yes.
People
Don't
walk
thank you.
the wrong way. It's a
Thank
one
you
way.
for bringing this up because people are fucking stupid. There are so many one-way signs on that path, and it's always it's because people will yell at them. Like if they're like, "Hey, you're going the wrong way," and they will always have like a European accent, be like, "I do not know what you are meaning," and it's like, don't pretend with us,
You know.
Frenchie.
You
know what you're doing. This is
You know what
America.
you're
You go
doing,
to the
Frenchie.
right.
It is $100 bill with Donald Trump's name on it. Well, see, the thing is we wanted to get to the pink trees, and they were like, if you're walking up there, they were on the left, like not far from us on the left, but we would have had to walk the wrong way to get to them. So
Yeah.
we were like, no, let's go the 8-mile route around the other side to get to them because we want to go the right. So every time we pass somebody, Dylan's like loudly, it was like, we'll call him Stranger Things Dylan. So Stranger Things Dylan made his way out, and he was like, how do they not know they're going the wrong way? There are signs everywhere. Oh, it's cracking me up.
I can't wait to talk to Dylan after he's been here for a month. He's gonna be like, "Look at this fucking mook here."
But I just want to say, like the where the white blossoms were and how it comes over the walkway. I mean, you're just immersed, and
Yeah.
we have so many beautiful photos and videos about. I mean, it's just gorgeous. If you're friends with Dylan on Facebook, check him out because he posts them. We'll try to get them to
Facebook?
Caitlin. We'll try to get them to
What is
Caitlin. Don't
this?
act like you're not 100 years
What
old.
is this
And
Facebook?
we'll try to get them posted on our site so you can see them. They're just really pretty, really gorgeous. We did
Yeah.
not walk all the way around to the pink ones. We were like,
Oh, you
I
didn't
think
make
this
it?
is. I mean, it's a long walk. And you don't know how many miles I've walked this week, so I'll get to all that. But it was
Yeah.
a really good week. So we went up there because Dylan has wanted to move there, and there was just an opportunity to make that happen. And so as I've talked about here, we're gonna do this long distance thing. I'm gonna visit from time to time and whatnot. Whenever I want to see a show, which will probably be every weekend. Um, so we went up there to get the keys to the place, which is super exciting. And I did say the last time that we had ordered a bunch of furniture that had been
Yeah.
delivered 4 days early, and we were very concerned about it. But when we got there, we got the keys. We got the super, very nice, everything, and all of the boxes, all of the many, many, many boxes of everything were in the lobby. So everything was fine. We got it all moved up, got it sort of set up, which is really great. Which is kind of exciting. It was a very long day that day because it was really just getting there and like loading everything up. And so we spent this time like trying to explore the neighborhood and eat at places that try to find a place that's close by that we're like, hey, let's people come visit us where we can go to. So I'll give a
Yeah.
shout out to the Fort Washington Public House. Delicious food. We don't eat a lot of food. We eat like 4 bites of whatever we get now. But we had nachos, and from there, we typically will order 2 or 3 appetizers, and that's just what we'll eat. So it was delicious. That was really cool. And the waitress is really nice because we're like, "Hey, we just moved here. We're from Florida. Like, where do we get a TV? Where do we get this?" And so she directed us to a bunch of places to go. One being, she's like, "You could get a TV at Target at 181st." Let me tell you about this. I You haven't seen this photo. I don't think I know how you hate elevators, but there's this station on the 1 train, the at 181st that, um, there's no stairs to get to the subway. Like, you have to take the elevator,
Yeah.
and it is this gigantic it's the size of this office, the elevator, and it is, like, dark and dirty, and it looks like an elevator in Silent Hill, and it's frightening, and we were the only 2 in it, and we're like, "Where is this taking us? What's happening?" And then it went to, like, the saddest Target in the history of Targets,
Oh.
and so we'll never go back to that Target again. We'll do the what's that thing called? Columbus Circle. Did they have a new name
Yeah.
for that yet? They still call it Columbus Circle?
No, it's still
I figured
Columbus
they
Circle.
would have
Yeah.
called it something else by now, um, like Freedom Circle or something. So but we'll go to that one because that one's way nicer. But it was fun.
Yeah.
We went to go get a TV, and all they had was a 32-inch Roku. I was like, that's not gonna cut it. So we didn't get it there. So we go to sleep
That's
that night.
sad. Yeah.
It was really hot, honestly.
Yeah, you
It
got
was
here when it started to warm up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I would say really hot. It was 76, which is probably a beautiful day walking around Central Florida and Tampa Bay. But it was warm because we were inside of an apartment putting together furniture and there was no moving air. Although we do have a lot of windows, which is great. The apartment's super cute. There are literally windows in every room of this apartment, which is unusual and fun. So there was a little bit of a breeze that would come from time to time, but it was pretty warm. But it got really cool at night. So we had all the windows open and it was nice and cool and we were enjoying everything and then all of a sudden, the noise started. That like there's just noise all the time. And we're not I mean we're like 2 or 3 buildings, from a main street. So it's not like we're tucked away anywhere. So car horns constantly. There just a lot of different street noises. The building across the street from us, because there's no window dressings in this place. So we weren't aware that there was like the sun across the street. So this building had like 5 super bright lights that were shining in. And, like we had all the lights off, and it looked like we had all the lights on. And we're like, it's so bright in here. And so there was that, and then I guess at 4 in the morning, they decided to repave the road outside of the window, and And so it sounded like it was like, if I go to hell, this is where I'll be. I'll be in this apartment on that night, and there was like a truck that sounded like it was just backing up, making circles around the block because it was that truck beeping noise
Yeah.
nonstop. Oh, it was so painful. We didn't sleep at all. But then we went and got curtains and we cut down the light, which was great. And they didn't finish repaving it the next day. I think maybe they had to let it settle or something. So hopefully, before we end up going back there, it'll all be done. But it's fine. It's cute. It's an adorable place. We really like it. We fixed it to where we could get to sleep, and so that's nice. I did go see Titanic while I was there. It's the only
Yeah.
show that I saw. Which for those that don't know, it's the story of Titanic, but told through the eyes of the French Canadian singer Celine Dion, who happened to be on the boat. So it's the Jack and Rose story, told through her eyes, and it is. I don't even know what to say about it. It's a jukebox musical, which I wasn't prepared for. It was a jukebox
Yeah.
musical of Celine Dion music. I love Celine Dion. I One of my biggest regrets is that I've never seen her in concert. I mean, there were people that were supposed to get me tickets to go in one of my birthdays and they didn't, and I still haven't
Mm.
forgiven them. And when my birthday came that year, they tried to go buy scalp tickets because I was so mad that I didn't get tickets to go. And they know who they are. Because they're listening right now, and I'm talking about you. She's driving in her car right now, going to her mom's thinking, "I wonder what the podcast is about to." It's about you not getting me tickets to Celine Dion, that's what it's about. So, but here's it's so chaotic. The best way that I could describe the show, first of all, I enjoyed it, let me just throw that out there. I had a great time, I laughed a lot, it was cuckoo, it was chaotic, and she sounded so much like Celine Dion that it was good. But
Yeah.
it was like this. This is Dylan's description of it, and I think there's no more perfect description of this. It is a fringe festival show that got too big. Like,
Yeah.
just it is that sort of. You ever sit there and go to a fringe show and you see, like, local famous people are in it, and you're like, "I wonder if anybody else would watch this or like this if it was outside of this area." Well, that's Titanic. The thing they just did was they put more famous people in it so that people would enjoy it. But it's insane. It's an insane show. It's off the rails. It's unhinged. It's crazy. Here's some of the people that were in it though. Deborah Cox is in it.
Yeah.
She plays the unspeakable Molly Brown, and she's hilarious, and she's incredible. Her voice is so insane. It's really good. Now, of course, because it's French esque and it's and the way it's put together, that they make a lot of references. Like she says at one point, "Nobody's supposed to be here," which is one of her songs, and so everybody erupts and starts clapping, and it was really cool. It is also the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I saw Brent Corrigan videos, so they're saying something. Jim Parsons is in it. He plays Rose's mother
All right.
and is hilarious. He does at one point say, "You wanna see a Big Bang Theory?" and then flips the back of his dress up and, like, farts on people. Like I said,
Okay.
very French-esque. He does this whole bit where he slaps people from across the stage, and every time there's like this he goes on this tear at one point, and he's just slapping everybody. He just goes like this, and somebody across the stage will whip their head and then make a slapping sound, and it's really funny. Um, Cracked me up, and then then he goes off on Patty LaPone and Nicole Scherzinger, all funny, all good stuff. Who else was in it? I just wanted to give a shout out to this guy. He wasn't particularly funny, but he wasn't bad. John Riddle, who played Cal, um, I guess um, he was the final Raoul in Phantom of the Opera. When it ended its 35-year run, he was in that. He was also the original um, Hans in Frozen. But he needs more songs. So to the lady who wrote it, who starred in it, write more songs for him. But the standout performance was this guy, Leighton Williams, who played the seaman. A lot of seaman
All right.
jokes. And he played the iceberg. But he played the iceberg. He played Tina Turner playing the iceberg. And
Okay.
so they sang River Deep Mountain High, which apparently Celine Dion did a cover of, which is why they put
Yes.
it in the show. And that's when the boat hits the iceberg, and then the iceberg comes out and sings River Deep Mountain High, deciding who's going to live and who's going to die. And then it turns into, and one of the writers of this is like of the RuPaul family. And so there's this, it turns into this whole RuPaul episode where everybody in the cast has to lip sync for their lives and decide who's gonna live and who's gonna die, and it's hilarious. And once that RuPaul thing hit, it went unhinged, like off the rails, screaming in the audience, people like a real. You think about an uproar of an audience, like when that started, it was crazy. This show was made for Ryan. It
Yeah.
is Celine Dion, RuPaul. There's a Big Brother star in it, whose name I refuse to say. Just kidding. I'm not a fan. Just that wasn't. I knew going into it, and then he just overacted to you know to the point where it was like, ugh. But I will say this: I was surprised that Frankie Grande has a nice voice. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean, him and his sister, her name escapes me now, but they both grew up singing.
Adriana.
She, I don't know. I hear she made something of herself. Good for her.
Yeah, she's got a future. Um, All in all, it was a really good show. I don't think I ever need to go and see it again, but I will say
Yeah.
this, it was really good. I was reading about from a New York Times reporter that they've seen the show something like 20 something times, and
Oh,
that
jeez.
they're glad that the editor hasn't fired them yet for going to it so many times. But I will say this too about the people that wrote it. They're just, like, I feel like every show could possibly be different. There's a bit they do where they say it's improv, but you never know if it really is. But they never, you start to think maybe it really was improv, where the Celine Dion character is telling a story about Jack and Rose, but Jack and Rose are on stage, and whenever she says they said something, they have to mouth the words of what Celine Dion is saying, and they don't know what she's gonna say. And so she just went crazy and was talking all kinds of weird stuff, and this guy started laughing, and that's pretty fun. But they also made a lot of Pam Bondi jokes because this was like the day after Pam Bondi got fired, and they
Yeah.
made a ton of jokes about her getting fired. So we all
Yeah.
appreciated that. It's a
I
very
know
gay
an I,
audience, a very gay time.
I know a New York Times critic who you could ask if it's improv. He's apparently seen the show a lot of times.
Yeah, right. Um, so yeah, so that was fun. Then we went like the next day. Wait, when did we get there on Wednesday, right? We got there on Wednesday, and I really want to see Death of a Salesman. Like, I want to see that very badly. And it's not on TDF, but it was at TKTS. So we debated whether when we got there on Wednesday, whether we should just leave and go get the tickets from TKTS to go that night, or if we should take a chance that it would be there for the rest of the week. But we were tired, and I was like, we got a lot of furniture to put together. Let's just try some other day. So we went Friday. We're like, let's go down to TKTS when it opens and let's try to get tickets. So we're in line, and we're like, let's go to Lincoln Center because the trick is go to Lincoln Center. It opens at 11 when Times Square doesn't open until 3, and they give out the same tickets. So you'll get a jump start if you go there. And so we're in line, and when it opens, I look at the app, and it doesn't have Death of a Salesman on it. So I asked the guy in the line, I said, "Hey, what are the chances that it's gonna get added later?" And he's like, "Oh, they just haven't had their coffee yet. It will definitely be added later." He's like, "Check back around 1 or 2." So we go to Target, and we're like, "Let's get a bunch of stuff for the house." So we buy a bunch of cleaning supplies for the house, and then on before we get on the subway to head back up to the house to drop it all off, I check, and it's there, and I'm like, "Great!" So there we are, standing in line with our broom and cleaning supplies for an hour. We're in line, and I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, "It says the ticket's $76. That means they're mezzanine seats. It would be like
Yeah.
150 if they had orchestra seats." So I was like, "Should we just go? What should we do?" So we talked to a guy in line, and he's like, "You definitely want to see it. If we have it, go see it. I've heard so many amazing things." So I'm like, "Okay." So we stayed in line for an hour, and we get there, and the person who is selling the tickets goes, "There's a reason these tickets are $76. Like, your 5th row mezzanine all the way on the right." And I was like, I don't want that. So then we learned there's another show. There's a guy from The Pit that's in a show that we really like. Or I like The Pit. And so we like this guy. He's the guy that's the drug addict doctor. And so he's in a show called Becky Shaw, which is a dark comedy about a blind date. And I was like, well, let's see that. Let's see what seats you got for that. Those would have been over $300 for 2 tickets in the mezzanine. I was like, you know what? We weren't meant to see a show today. Plus, I found out how to get lottery seats for Death of a Salesman. So we're going to try next time when we go up there. So we didn't see anything else. But we left there. We went to a furniture store. Try not to go on for too long about this, but I just like to point out this furniture store thing because it was crazy. It was crazy. There was the salesperson. She followed us around the store, like less than 2 feet behind us. Like she was on our tail the whole time. And then when we were going downstairs, she's like, I'll go downstairs with you. And I'm like, we're really okay. She's like, well, I just want to be there in case you have any questions. So then I asked one question. I said, what's the width of this table? I'll have to go look that up. I said, no, don't bother. I'll look it up online. And she goes, no, we like to look it up for you. And I was like, I'm leaving. Like, you're not. She's like, but if you have to look it up yourself, you can. It was very weird, very interesting.
Mm.
Didn't buy anything there. Anyway, and then we went to the cherry blossoms, and that was that. So, all in all, it was a really good trip. We did make it back to. So I think I mentioned this when I said that we were up there visiting, and Dylan and I went to a restaurant, Gatsby Landing, and we asked the waitress, like, we just like to look at different neighborhoods. Which one should we look at? That was kind of a lie. The question was, he wants to move here. Where should we look at apartments? Because he wants to move here. And she's the one who pointed out the neighborhood that we ended up loving, that we ended up getting this apartment for him at. So we went back there to tell her, like, hey, isn't this great? But she wasn't working that day. But everybody who were best friends with her. Do you think this is true? Do you think they really were? They were like, I can't wait to tell her that you were here. She's going to be so excited. We're really good friends, blah, 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 blah. So hopefully that is true.
That you popped in to tell her that you liked the neighborhood she selected?
Yeah, I mean, she lives there too. We're neighbors
Oh.
now.
I bet she is super excited.
Listen, we got the charcuterie board at this place. I'm going to tell you, if you love charcuterie and you can eat a lot of it, go and get this. Like I said, we just order appetizers, right? So we ordered crab cakes and the charcuterie board. We couldn't even eat a third of it. It was so much food, and it was good. So check it out. Anyway, that was my week.
Nice. So we watched a movie this week, as we do every
We
week.
did. Now, we were set up to watch The Disappointments. Is that what we were going to watch? Is that what it's called? That it's a
Yeah,
it's a series on YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you watch your previews? I've not seen anything about it.
I pulled it up and I read some of the comments on some of the clips that were on YouTube, and it is a show that is on YouTube.
Yeah, so how desperate I was to relinquish Whistle. I feel like you really didn't want to watch this YouTube thing because you were like, hey, this thing's coming on Netflix. Want to watch that?
Yeah. So speaking of Broadway, last year we had a nice little show on Broadway called Merrily We Roll Along that had oh god, now I'm forgetting their names. Jonathan Groff, Daniel Radcliffe, and Lindsay Mendez.
Frodo Baggins? No.
Frodo Baggins was in it. The lady from Misery. No, that's the wrong one. So they filmed it and they put it up on Netflix. It premiered this weekend. So Daniel Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff both won Tonys for their performances. It also won Best Revival of a musical last year. So
Lindsay Melendez was nominated, but she didn't win. I don't know who beat her.
I don't recall, but she did win a Tony several years ago for, I believe, Pippin.
Carousel.
She was in Carousel?
Carousel, yeah. No, yes, Carousel.
Yes, no?
Yeah, it was
Yes?
Carousel. 2018, she won for Carousel.
She was in Pippin, though, yes?
I don't know. Do you know what? Isn't this weird?
Oh, no,
really
she played Carrie Pipperidge.
Ah.
That's where I saw Pippin.
I don't like Pippin. It's not a show I'd go see.
All right. Luckily, we didn't watch Pippin.
I know, but I'm just saying it's not a show to go see.
Is there a reason You just hate circuses? It's about a circus, right?
I don't think it is. Is it? I think it's about like it's either the story of some of like Camelot told. It's for the same reason I won't see Godspell. It just has that. I think it's like a vibe of like a bus full of actors stop in a field and do a performance of something that depicts some old timey thing. That is the actual distinction. You can take that. So it's that. There is a good song from it, "Corner of the Sky," which is a great song. The guy who played the Greatest American Hero starred in Pippin a long time ago and sang that song, and it's really good. But I don't like any other version of it. It's weird.
Yeah. If it's not about the circus, why do they do circus acts in it? Because they
Let
performed it on the Tonys once, and they're doing like a bunch of circus shit.
Oh, it is, um, ties war, hedonism, and politics. Oh, that's an AI version. I don't wanna say what that is. It's a mysterious performance troupe. See, already right there, I have no interest. A mysterious performance troupe led by the player to tell the story of
Isn't that all a
Pippin,
circus is a
who is
performance
okay,
troupe
the
moving town to
Pippin
town.
and his father Charlemagne, and maybe that's why. Yeah, it's Middle Ages kinda stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Not for me. Anyway, good thing because we didn't watch it. We watched
No.
the movie. So they did a recording of Merrily We Roll Along, the Broadway show. They just filmed the Broadway production one night. I had watched this when it first came out because they did a
Yeah,
theatrical
because they
release of
released it
it.
in theaters in December, and then they
Yeah.
just dropped it on Netflix this weekend. Yeah.
So I sort of talked about it a little bit there. Of course, I didn't make any notes or anything exciting about that to talk about it, but I was very excited when you wanted to see it because I loved it and watch it again. Of course, I don't mind.
Yeah. No, it was good. I Sondheim is like a hit or miss thing. But there is a musical that he did called Company. That a couple of weeks ago I found a we'll say pirated version that somebody had posted up on YouTube about. It was the one that they did in London with Jonathan Bailey. It was the gender swap one, and I watched that and I loved that. And this was from the same. It was Sondheim and um, what's the guy who directed? He directed both of them. I guess he's a famous Broadway director. It was the same team that had done Company, so I was really excited to see this because I know that it was written and kind of staged by the same people. Come to find out that this staging is completely different than the original 1980s one that apparently was a huge bomb. Like it
Yeah.
did not do well. And that team didn't end up working together again until like 2003, which I thought was interesting. It was such a bomb that they're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. And they didn't work for 20 years with each other. But I don't know how much of the original that you know, but I was going through and reading about it. And the original 1981 version, they cast all teenagers and young adults because they wanted it to be more of like a show that was like a jumping off point for up and coming actors. And the original one had a young Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. He
Huh.
played Joe Josephson, and Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. He was a part of the ensemble. It was one of the first things that they ever did. I thought that was interesting.
Who did
I
he
didn't
play?
recognize any of the other names.
Oh,
Which one?
he played the producer, Jason Alexander.
Yeah, he played the producer.
Okay. I will say this. I was watching this show and I knew that the original was a bomb. And I was as I was watching it, I said, "It has to be the cast that made it bomb because this cast is perfection." And I don't like you said with Sondheim music, it's hit or miss, you know? What's interesting to me is that there's a song in Merrily We Roll Along, about how your show won't be successful if it doesn't have a hook, if it doesn't have a hummable tune. And it made me laugh because I don't think, at least for me, I don't think a lot of his songs are hummable. um,
No, I know you differ for this. I love Sweeney Todd, and Sweeney Todd has several hummable ones. And then watching Company, there's quite a few songs in Company that are really like really famous Broadway songs that like everybody likes to sing. Um, Being Alive being my personal favorite.
That is a good
Uh,
one. That is one
yeah,
of his best songs.
I love that song.
For this show, Not a Day Goes By is that for me. I think that is hummable and fantastic and a great song. And I think
Yeah.
that the performance of it from the woman that played his first wife is amazing.
Yeah, I love the show. None of the songs stuck out to me. Like by the end, I couldn't hum any one of them to you. But it was a good show. And yeah, I think this is one of those shows where the cast is pivotal to it. But they also changed a lot because they did a revival in the early 2000s where they changed up a lot of stuff, and Sondheim wrote new songs for it and removed old songs. So it's not the same play that was done, or the same musical that was done in 1981. That apparently sucked and people walked out of. I read
Jesus.
stories that it was so bad that people got up and walked out of it, and I was like, damn.
Oof.
But this one is Jonathan Groff plays Frank, and Daniel Radcliffe plays Charlie, and Lindsay Mendez plays Mary, and they're lifelong friends. And it's told over 20 years, but in reverse. So it opens with the destruction and the collapse of the friendship. It's already at the start of the play. Frank and Charlie are already not talking. Their friendship has ended.
It's just
And
so
then-
great. Like the opening of it, I think is great because there's this sort of like "Merrily We Roll Along" song that everybody's singing about, like, hey, what and it's just it's a happy sound, but there's just devastation in Jonathan Groff's face, and so like he's just so talented. I think from the beginning, he's just there. Like there's this happy song going around, and he's almost in tears thinking back on all of the years that led up to that moment, and it's great. Like the whole point of the like I guess of that song, but the point of the show is what the decisions that you make in life that put you where you are. Like what decisions did you make that landed you here where you are today and in this moment? And it's something that I just always ponder and think about. And so when that seems to be what the show is about, so I was immediately hooked.
Yeah. One of the changes that it looks like they made, which I think is probably one of the things that helped with keeping track for people, because it goes back in time. And so like each scene is, a few years before that and pivotal moments in their friendship. In the original, because like you said, they open it up with that, Merrily We Roll Along song. And then between each of the transitions back, the cast comes out and they do the like a reprise of that song, and it transitions. They didn't have any of that. They just went from scene to scene with no indication that this is a few years back, except for like a
Oh,
throwaway
wow.
line. So when they redid it, they added in the transition songs. So you've got like, it starts with Merry You Go Along, and then first transition, second transition down to seventh. And that helped to keep people on track with the story. Apparently that was nowhere in the beginning, and it was just complete and utter chaos. Nobody knew what was happening. The show made no sense to anybody. So yeah, also on top of that, you have a bunch of teenagers doing it. I can only imagine the chaos within the theater.
Yeah, a bunch of people that like have never seen before. Sure.
Yeah. Wet
But I
behind
thought
the ears.
And, I know of Lindsay Melendez from TV shows. Like, she was in a show, All Rise, that I watched a lot, and she was in Elspeth, um, which they did make a Merrily We Roll Along joke because this was after she was in Merrily We Roll Along.
Yeah.
She's a cop on Elspeth, and someone was listening to the soundtrack of it, and she made a comment like, "Oh, that's a great soundtrack," because it was her. But yeah, I thought she was great. Like that whole opening scene where it's like, here's Jonathan Groff's character who has made it big time. He's a huge Hollywood producer. He's produced Broadway shows, and he just had this film release and it was super successful. And then here's his best friend who clearly hates him, and
Yeah.
and like that whole party scene and her exit from it was just great.
Yeah. And the worst part of it is that the three of them were friends, but she's always been in love with Frank and had a crush on him. And that first song is her just finally letting go of that and being like, you know what, you're not who you were when I first met you. And I read that she's 7 months pregnant when they filmed this.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
she's,
cuckoo.
belting it and running around the stage and everything.
Yeah, I thought she was great. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I don't know who won. I'll have to look it up at some point. While you're talking, I'll look it up. But they must have been stunning because she was really good.
Yeah. Sorry, I was I was looking it up while you were talking.
Oh,
And
really? I guess
and
it would be the best
she
supporting, right?
they call it best featured actress in a musical in 2024.
Oh, Carrie Young and Purpose.
Yeah. That is I've heard really good things about that show.
Yeah. Isn't that one that's
But isn't that
directed
a
by
play?
Felicia Rashad? Oh, yeah, maybe it is a play. So
Mm,
maybe not. Best featured actress in a musical, Buena Vista Social Club.
yes, yes. I haven't seen that one either, but I've
Oh,
heard good
right.
things
And
about
Joy
that
Woods
too.
from Gypsy was nominated then too.
Yeah.
She was really
Yeah.
good. All right.
Yeah. It was a good year for theater.
It was.
Unlike this one, I was reading there's only like 5 original musicals that are in contention for best musical this year. Probably they didn't have a big Broadway season as far as musicals this year. But
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I mean it's on Netflix. It's great. I think anybody who likes Sondheim will like this. I think anybody who doesn't like Sondheim will like this rendition because, like I said, it's his musicals tend to be like just like all strung together. Like all of his song, even the ones I like Sweeney Todd and Company. It's like the one song leads into another, and it's just like one continuous song. This one has breaks. It feels more like traditional Broadway musical.
Yeah. And
Which
it's
was
sort
nice.
of it's fascinating to watch a story told in reverse. Because
Yeah.
it's like there's some things that are so meaningful. Like in the first scene, they talk about they're celebrating Jonathan Groff's character having great success, and somebody at the party mentions, "Oh, has anybody seen the play that Charlie wrote? And he really is good. He's the only playwright deserving of the Pulitzer Prize," and blah blah blah. And then everybody gets quiet. They're like, "How could you say that?" And then you find out that the big falling out they had was a couple of years before during an interview. So the next scene is that interview, and I just gotta say, I have I have so much respect for Daniel Radcliffe. Like that he is nothing like you when people are child actors and that's all you ever see them, you only ever see Harry Potter. Not the case in this show at all. He like that interview song that he sang was
Mm-hmm.
just incredible. And it's not a catchy tune or anything like that. It's just fascinating. And it starts off like as a funny joke, but it turns into anger and it's just really great. Really great. Big
Yeah.
fan.
I'll be honest, of all the actors, I thought he was the best. And if somebody said, "Hey, pick out like the top performance," I mean, I thought he was just stunning in this.
Yeah.
So much, in fact, that I totally forgot that it was Daniel Radcliffe, and halfway through, I thought it was Elijah Wood. Full disclosure, that was my review that I read. No, he
Real
was
quick.
so phenomenal in this movie.
Yeah. Did you recognize
Yes, I
the
know who you're gonna say. The producer
Yeah.
is the director from when Joey was doing that play on Friends, where he and the actress that he's got a crush on, and she's dating the director. Yeah, I totally recognize that, and it was fantastic. I saw him, and I was like, he looked vaguely familiar, and once he started talking, I was like, all I could hear was, "Please enjoy my mother's crab cakes," and I was like, that is hilarious. I love him. So glad that he is getting work.
Yeah, it's funny too that I don't know, he's playing the same kind of character, so it was
Yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah, he was really good. Um, I'm just gonna say I loved it. I loved it every time I see. I love it's this is quintessential why I love theater and how music tells a story and the emotion, the passion, like everything that Jonathan Groff's character said about music and musical theaters, especially towards the end of it, was like exactly what I think. So I feel like as much as Titanic was made for Ryan, this show was made for me. I just
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. You know that they are making a movie version of this.
I do.
Richard Linklater, who directed Blue Moon that we just recently watched, and Boyhood, he kind of did something similar with this. He's filming it over the course of the 20 years. So instead of getting actors and like doing age makeup to do the different scenes, he's filming them in real time at those ages over the course of 20 years. It's going to star Ben Platt, Paul Mescal, and Beanie Fieldstein. And it will release in 2040. And I did the math. I will be 61 years old when that movie is released in theaters.
Well, I hope I'm alive to see it. But I do want to say that he missed the boat already because they're like 18 years old or 19 and Ben Platt is not in his 20s. So,
No,
they already
no, he
missed the
is
boat on
not.
that. I mean,
Unless,
but he
I don't
did
know when
play
they
Evan
started
Hansen.
filming. I want to say he started filming it 2020, maybe 2019. I think it was
2019.
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that
Well, what
was
year did
7
Dear Evan
years
Hansen
ago.
come out? What year did Dear Evan Hansen come out?
I don't know. But no, I don't
Because
think they were all teenagers, but I believe they were all in their early 20s when they started filming it, right?
okay, it was 2 years before Dear Evan Hansen. All right. I'll give him that.
So it should be interesting. Ben Platt's going to play the Charlie, the Daniel Radcliffe character. Paul Mescal's going to be the Jonathan Groff character, and obviously Beanie Feldstein will be the Lindsay character.
Isn't that the one from the Funny Girl debacle?
Yes, yes, it is.
I
She
think
was
they
also
started filming
in.
before the debacle. They did,
Yeah, because I
right?
think it was just a couple of years ago that she was on there. But yeah, she was in Smart Book. Is that what it was called? She did a movie a few years ago, a comedy that was really funny. But yeah, she is the sister of Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
He's looking really different.
Yeah. Oh, where did I just see him?
He was
Oh, he was on SNL.
SNL, yeah.
Yeah. And him and Jack Black, they looked like they were relaunching like a biker film or something when they were both standing next to each other. But yeah, so great movie. If you have Netflix, check it out. Totally worth watching.
Yeah.
I did read, and I probably shouldn't have read the IMDb reviews before watching it, because a lot of them didn't like the way that the film, like they liked the musical, they thought the actors were great. They didn't like the way the film was filmed because it's done with a lot of close-ups. And a lot of comments were she should have just filmed like the whole stage, like you're watching the musical, because you miss kind of what else is happening on stage, because she chooses who to zoom in close-ups on. And there were a couple of parts where she got close on Jonathan Groff from the side, and you could see off stage, you could see the lights and some of the stuff out there. So a couple of those scenes were a little jarring because it kind of pulled you out of the song. But other than that, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think you gotta have the close-ups. I think without them, you're just at a distance, you know?
Right. If they're the only one on
that's why I don't
stage,
sit in the mezzanine.
yeah, I agree with that if they're the only one on stage. But there were several points where there's several people on stage and she's cutting to close-ups of particular actors. And I think one of the things with theater is you get to take in the whole scene and you get to choose what you want to look at in that scene. I think that's one of the things that sets it apart from movies and television. But yeah, so, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm going 5 grapes. What do you think? What do you
I'll go
think
4 grapes.
Rotten Tomatoes was?
Because there's a Rotten Tomato on the movie.
I'm sure that it did fine. I mean, they had one of these for Hamilton came out not too long ago, and Good Night, Good Luck, and both of those did really well with critics. So I'm going to say they're keeping on track. I'm going to say critics 95. Is there an audience score?
There is.
Oh, I'll go 92 for audience.
It was 95 and 95.
Oh, all right.
So there you go. Score 1 for Frodo.
Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. And I have a feeling next week's is going to be good too. We're going to cover the Keanu Reeves movie.
Yes. What is that on again?
I think it's Apple TV.
Apple TV movie. Okay.
Comes out on April 10th. And it is called, I forget. I don't know. It's something about rehab. But it's not called rehab. It's like something else. It's not comeback. It's some word that people in rehab would use.
Outcome. It's called Outcome.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be back with that next week. And until then, the cork is back in the bottle.